So let us look at an example of bill of materials. So in this example, we have been given this BOM where the end item is A, and A has components B and C, B has components D and E, and C has components F and D, and F has G. Now, as you can see in this BOM, the usage quantities have been mentioned in parentheses. So for one unit or one number of end item A to be produced, we need 3 quantities of B. Now for each quantity of B, we need 1 quantity of D and 2 quantities of E. Similarly, we have been given that for each quantity of A, we need 1 quantity of C, and for each quantity of C, we need 1 quantity of F and 1 quantity of D, and for each quantity of F, we need 1 quantity of G. Now the question is that if there is no existing inventory, how many units of G, E and D must be purchased to produce 5 units of end item A? So G, which is this one here, E, this one here, and D, so this one here. So basically they're saying if 5 quantities of A are to be produced, then how many quantities of E, D and G are required to be purchased? So this is one of the main functions of a BOM, right? So if you get an order from the customer that, okay, I need to supply 5 quantities of A. Now, in order to be able to assemble or manufacture A, you will need all these components. So you may be able to manufacture B in-house or assemble B in-house within your premises, but you may have to order these end components D, E and G from your supplier. So now you have to ensure that you are not over purchasing or under purchasing, because if you under purchase, then you will not be able to manufacture all 5 quantities. If you over purchase, then you will have these end items sitting in your inventory and locking your funds. So this is one of the most important functions of the bill of material, to identify how much quantity of the end components is required. So let's find out. So let's first find out how many quantities of E is required. Now let's see the chain, right? So 1 unit of A requires 3 units of B, and 1 unit of B requires 2 units of E. So now if we have to manufacture 5 units of A, so the quantity required for B will be 5 into 3. So 5 into 3. So basically that means 5 into 3 B are required. Now each B requires 2 E. So 15 B's will require 15 multiplied by 2 E's. So this multiplied by 2. So this will be 5 into 3 is 15. 15 into 2 is 30. So 30 units of E will be required. Now next, let's understand how much D will be required. Now as you can see, 1 unit of A requires 3 units of B, and 1 unit of B requires 1 unit of D. So if we have to have 5 units of A, so 5 units of A, that means B will be 5 into 3, that is 15, and each unit of B requires 1 unit of D. So D will also be 5 into 3. So 5 into 3 is equal to 15. However, D is also required to assemble or manufacture C. So when you're ordering D from the supplier, you have to ensure that you have catering to all the requirements of D required to manufacture A. So now we have 1 unit of A requires 1 unit of C, and 1 unit of C requires 1 unit of D. So 5 units of A will require 5 into 1, that is 5C, and 5C will require 5 Ds. So this will be 5 into 1 into 1, of course, which will be 5. So total will be 20 units of D will be required to manufacture 5 units of A. Now next, let's look at G. Now 1 unit of A requires 1 unit of C, 1 unit of C requires 1 unit of F, and 1 unit of F requires 1 unit of G. So basically 1 unit of A requires 1 unit of G. So 5 units of A will require 5 units of G. So this will be 5 into 1 into 1 into 1, which will be 5 units. So this is how you can find out how many quantities of E, D and G are required to produce 5 units of end item A.